will take you back.
Hello everyone and welcome. Supergirl's over. And with that being said, you may have gleaned from the title of this video that this episode is all about Wynonna Earp. Now, if you don't know what Wynonna Earp is, or if you haven't had the chance to watch the first season yet, I highly recommend you make your way over to Netflix, and the whole first season is on there for you to binge before the start of the second season, which is June 9th. So, with that being said, we're going to dive right into a season 1 recap. What happened on season 1, where we left the main characters, and what I think we're going to see in season 2. So let's now start with our titular character, and yes, I did say titular, Wynonna Earp. So we left the season with Wynonna shooting her sister in the face, and I believe that's going to have some ramifications come season 2. She already did it once, shooting a family member, and now we're going to probably see her start to doubt herself, start to be guilt-ridden a little bit, having to shoot Willa, which we all know that she really didn't want to do. She told Doc that Willa wasn't a dog to be put down, but in the end, it seemed like it had to be done. Next season, we're also going to see Wynonna deal with ramifications of 2 events that happened in the finale. Number 1, Willa, the lead, crossed the gate with Bobo, with Peacemaker, thereby opening the gates of hell, we assume, or opening the gates of Purgatory, or the Ghost River Triangle, to some evil, the giant snake thing, that is going to make its way, or try to make its way into Purgatory. And Wynonna, number 1, I think that is what we're going to see her having to stop, at least for some of season 2. And she's also going to have to deal with her sister Waverly. Dear, sweet, innocent Waverly. Of course this shit would happen to you. We left Waverly touching the monster slime, and apparently becoming possessed, pulling a gun on Doc and Wynonna, and we don't really know what's gonna happen there. Based on the promo, it seems like nobody knows that something's wrong with her. So I'm gonna guess that in the first scene of season 2, we're gonna see her pull the gun, and then I think she's gonna back off and be like, ha ha ha, just kidding, and, you know, play it off as a joke, because based on the promo, it looks like everybody is kind of cool with what's happening, and nobody knows that she's possessed yet. And that's not all that happened to Waverly last season. If you recall, Bobo creepily whispered in her ear in this weird treehouse thing that Waverly wasn't even an Earp, and I can assume what that means. It means that she wasn't fathered by Ward Earp, but I don't know what kind of ramifications that's going to cause for next season. She doesn't really have anything to do with the curse at this point because she's not an heir. It was mostly just between Willa and Wynonna to see who could wield Peacemaker, and she wasn't really relevant to the Earp, I guess, heirship, but I'm guessing that's going to come into play at some point. A little side find, this photo right here, after Wynonna shoots Bobo, which she did do, in the finale of season 1, a little inscription or something highlighted on the bottom of Peacemaker, and now as you see this caption, is Peacemaker the new Dark One dagger? So has Wynonna been tied to Peacemaker in some way other than her being the heir? And I don't know really what that means yet, but I'm assuming we're going to find out. It didn't really look like it was placed in there by accident, but you can't really read what it says either, so I guess we'll see. And now we get hot. Nicole hot, that is. And where we left Nicole last season was Willa shot her, but in spectacular fashion of completely busting a trope. Emily Andress had her wearing a bulletproof vest and lesbian lives, hashtag lesbian lives. But she got shot, she's fine, everything's okay, and now she knows about the demons. Officially, Doll said to her, welcome to the Black Badge Division, and I'm so excited to see her interact and be involved in the just mayhem that is Black Badge, and she's going to be in on it. She's a great resource for the team, I think, because she's awesome and amazing and very smart. So smart, if you recall Waverly saying that. And I think that's going to be super fun to have, to use Nicole and have her not be on the outside anymore of that whole circle. Which brings us to Doc. I don't think anything happened with him really in the finale. I've just rewatched it recently to kind of get a little bit of info for this video, and he just, you know, was almost killed by that crazy guy who poisoned everybody. I think everybody's okay. It seemed like they got them the antidote in the finale, so I think we're good in that department. They're not really zombies anymore or crazy hicks off their rockers. But Doc was convinced by the crazy man, JC, which we'll talk about in a second, to come back because Wynonna needed his help. Which brings me to the new Jacob of Wynonna Earp. And for all of you Lost fans out there, I equate him to Jacob, the Jacob of the Island. And if you don't know anything about Lost, he basically shows up, is a mysterious character, and we don't really know how he's involved. He's just in everybody's story. He's showing up, he's disappearing, he's weird and crazy, and that's exactly what this guy is. He shows up to talk to Doc first when his car breaks down, and he convinced Doc to go back. And then he shows up again and talks to Wynonna about the ultimate evil, the old one, how something's trying to get into purgatory, and it seems like he's on her side. It seems like he's warning her about something. And I don't really know. He's very Jacob-like to me. He's very godly, overarching, kind of like on the opposite side of the demons, and maybe a good force in Wynonna's curse. JC also shows up to talk to Bobo in the middle of the finale, and this is interesting for two reasons. One, because Bobo tells him, you're not allowed to interfere. And the second is because later on, when JC talks to Wynonna, he says, we'll be watching you. So these two things combined make me think that there is like a group that are angels to the revenants, angels and demons. And these angels are looking out for Wynonna. They're protecting her and everyone in, you know, her little circle, Black Badge, Waverly, all of them. And they're gonna play a big role in ousting the ultimate evil, the old one, if you will, in season 2. Which finally brings me to Black Badge and dolls. So in the finale, we saw this crazy motherfucker who just came out to attack people and is honestly having a great time right now. Number one, taking dolls away for committing treason to hold him in a maximum security prison somewhere, which the team is then going to have to rescue him, as Wynonna states in the finale, and telling her officers to tomahawk the whole thing, getting the coordinates of the town, and her last line is boom. So I'm left wondering, boom or not, because it seemed like everything was okay. It seemed like they were headed out of town. Wynonna shoots Bobo, who they were also taking, but I don't know if that plan is still on the table to bomb Purgatory. I guess we'll find out. And this lady also has a little grudge against dolls. And I'm assuming that's going to have some kind of side plot to next season, because we're going to have to follow Dolls. He's a character that we care about. And she says that she has a problem with him because he survived Kandahar when others didn't. So it seems a little bit personal. Seems a little bit like she's got a grudge, and I think Dolls is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Finally, the last question that I still have is, Dolls, what the hell are you? This guy, we've been seeing all season that he's got some like medicine that he takes to keep something subordinate in his genetic makeup, I guess. He says that the medicine keeps some parts of him alive and others dead. So he's got some kind of weird Frankenstein, like Jekyll and Hyde monster thing going on that he needs medicine to take to keep that part at bay. We don't know what it is yet, and those are some of the biggest questions that I have about season 1 so far going into season 2. I think ultimately going into season 2, we have two main storylines. We have the storyline, and these are both related to Wynonna. We have her defeating the ultimate evil that's trying to get into Purgatory, and then we also have her still trying to break the Earp curse, because she still's got, you know, revenants left to kill. And I don't know if that's, I can assume that the revenants might take a back seat to Waverly being possessed, to getting dolls back, to keeping the old one out of Purgatory, keeping that worm, put that thing back where it came from, or so fucking help me, because that thing was nasty. But I'm excited nonetheless, and I don't think you guys normally see me this excited because, you know, I've been watching Supergirl, and no hate on Supergirl, I love Supergirl, you guys know this. Hashtag Sandverse is not over. Just don't even fucking get me started on that shit. But Wynonna Earp is fucking great, guys. It's so well written. It's so awesome. And if you came here to my channel because you were watching Supergirl and you haven't watched Wynonna Earp, please fucking go to Netflix right now. Binge the first season, and I'll see you on June 9th.
Take you back.
Hello everyone and welcome. Supergirl's over. And with that being said, you may have gleaned from the title of this video that this episode is all about Wynonna Earp. Now, if you don't know what Wynonna Earp is, or if you haven't had the chance to watch the first season yet, I highly recommend you make your way over to Netflix, and the whole first season is on there for you to binge before the start of the second season, which is June 9th. So, with that being said, we're going to dive right into a season 1 recap. What happened on season 1, where we left the main characters, and what I think we're going to see in season 2. So let's now start with our titular character, and yes, I did say titular, Wynonna Earp. So we left the season with Wynonna